All right, so let me go ahead and just get some numbers out, and then we're gonna go ahead and get your thoughts on what we're right, what we're wrong, and it's gonna be a whole bunch of what the f, right? So just some of the stuff in regards to this game, right? First downs, Colts had 27, Dolphins had 12. Total
Disgusting.
yards, Colts had 418 to
Dolphins
Dolphins
at 200.
211. Yards per play, Colts were 6. That means every 2 plays was a first down
First
for the
down.
Colts, bro. Passing 262 as opposed to 133 for the Dolphins, bro. Rushing was disgusting. 156 yards rushing for the Indianapolis Colts, and then 3 turnovers. Time of possession, you allowed the Colts to hold the ball for 39 minutes. This was a full old school ass whooping. Like, this is the kind of ass whooping. Like, this is one of those, if you ever play Fight Night and you play somebody that actually knew how to use total boxing control and you just button mash, that dude demolished you. That's what this was.
Outclassed.
Outclassed by Daniel Jones, dog. So, Rob, man, let's go ahead and give the people what they want, man. What went right, what went wrong, and how much of what the F do you have this week, brother? Go ahead, my guy.
All right, Herbie. So for what went right, the game ended. That's it. That's what basically went right. If you want me to, since we're doing a show here, if you want me to be technical on what I saw went right, I want to give a shot. There's two things. Shout out to Devon Achan on the effort that he had on that touchdown where Tua pitches the ball to him. He's like 11, 12 yards away from the end zone. You know what I'm saying? He broke a few tackles, showed that he's not just a skinny little scat back, gets a touchdown. And then we were able to get a 3rd and 1 with Ollie Gordon running the ball. Like, whoop, whoop, whoop. You know what I'm saying? We finally were able to do something that I always questioned we could do. For me, that's what went right. What went wrong, Herbie, was a whole lot. And my WTF is going to be more geared toward the offense. So for my what went wrong, I'm going to focus on the defense here. Herbie, when we were coming into this season, I spoke ad nauseum about how excited I was to at least see the front four of our defense. I knew everybody in the whole world knew that our secondary was going to be a problem, except maybe our front office. I don't know. But I was expecting the front seven to be the strong part of our unit. Herbie, they only had 1 sack today. Herbie, true. Where were our rushers? Where was Chop? Where was Jalen Phillips? Like, at the end of the day, our secondary we knew was mishmashed together. So you kind of knew that there was going to be some issues. You know what I mean? But when you look at the guys that we were expecting to carry the defense, they had no impact today. You know what I'm saying? The Colts were able to do whatever they wanted on offense. They were able to run the ball when they wanted. They were able to throw the ball when they wanted. They had Daniel Jones look like, you know what I'm saying, the second coming of Andrew Luck, man. Like Herbie, the defense, if they're gonna play like that the rest of the year, who are we beating? Even if the offense gets it together. If we can't stop a Daniel Jones led offense, and granted, you know, you factor in Shane Steichen and Jonathan Taylor, and they got talent on offense. That's not, and even their offensive line is pretty good. But you don't expect for them to do whatever they want. Like, the defense gets paid to do something, and our defense couldn't do anything. Couldn't apply pressure. Couldn't get, like, the best play that was made that was Rasul Douglas. Rasul Douglas almost had a pick. Like, that was probably the most. And, like, shout out to Cap, man. I'm sorry you had to see that, Cap, but the defense most definitely went wrong because they couldn't stop anything. The Colts scored on every drive they wanted to score. Like, that, what does that tell you? They scored on all 7 of Daniel Jones' drives, they scored. And that's something that is just too putrid for anyone to say. And then, of course, the other thing that I would say went wrong too was just dumb penalties and mistakes. And we addressed those. We had Matthew Judon with the running into the punter, the 12 men in the huddle on offense. You know, just there were several times where, and this is the 4th season. How is it that we are still having problems with Mike McDaniel getting plays to Tua, right? Like, how are we still having problems with timeouts and the clock running down? Like, we should be over these things already. You should have learned and have, you know, fucking did like a new process. You needed something to work out, and you just have yet to do it. You just keep running back the same old thing that leads you to the same old problems, right? And now that leads me to my WTF. Guys, look, I know this might not be common knowledge. This might not be news to everyone. So I'm going to give everyone a little bit of information here so that everybody could be all caught up and up to date. For you guys who didn't know, Tua Tagovailoa actually has a New York Times bestseller circulating the web because the book is out on that boy. Okay? They couldn't, the Dolphins on offense couldn't do anything today, and that was in large part to Tua Tagovailoa. And I know some people always like to say, oh, it's the offensive line. I'm gonna be honest. I don't even know if you could even truly grade the offensive line today based on how bad he played. Like at the end of the day, you have 2 interceptions. At the end of the day, you have a sack fumble. And these plays are all happening back to back to back. A bad sack taken because you were completely befuddled by what you were seeing on defense. Like Tua looked like a guy who was stepping onto the field for the first time. That's how the Colts made him look. Now look, I know some people might say, okay, when he dropped back, because we haven't seen the film yet, the All 22 will drop tomorrow, but there are people who might say, oh, when he dropped back, everybody was covered and he had nowhere to go with the ball. Okay, so here's the problem. When you have a quarterback, like when other quarterbacks, because I saw this in previous games, I saw this on Thursday night, I saw this on Friday night. There are times where a quarterback is going to drop back and the defense does their part to the T. Everybody's covered. But you know what the difference is? Mahomes is gonna make a play. Jalen Hurts is gonna make a play. Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow. I can go on and on and on. There are all these quarterbacks. Every quarterback in the NFL gets into situations where they drop back and everybody's covered. But you know the difference? You want those other guys to make that play. You don't want Tua to make that play. And that's a problem in today's NFL. How can you expect to do anything with a quarterback who not only is he not really a guy who's going to go out and create and improvise, but you don't even want him to do it because you're afraid he's getting hurt. There was a couple times Tua got sacked and I winced because he was already playing bad and then he's getting sacked on top of it. So it's just, I mean, and like Rafi said, like Tua threw a pick to Latu, man. Latu's a defensive lineman, bro. Dropping back in coverage. Like there was a pick that he almost threw where I'm gonna be honest, like upon watching it on snap reaction, I don't know what who was he throwing to? Like there was a play where he threw it like basically right to the defender. The linebacker was right there. Like it was just like Tua played as bad a game as I've ever seen him play. And for all the people who have all the negative things to say about Tua, there's no defense for him today. Like there are times where I could even find something little to look at. Like this was like there was zero redeemable qualities from Tua today. He was trash from start to finish. The only thing he did was make plays that me and you guys can make. Throw a pitch to A-Chan here, a 5-yard pass. Like Tua didn't do anything of note today. And if we're gonna get play like this from him this year, and when you consider the fact that the Colts were just so ready for us, like just the fact that the Dolphins failed on every facet of football. We failed on offense. We failed on defense. We failed on special teams. We failed in coaching. Every facet of the game, we were defeated by a Daniel Jones-led football team.
It's funny that you say that. It's funny that you say that, bro, because right on cue, and we're gonna do this majority of the time for the season, man. We're gonna say this is a segment. I'm calling "What Did the Internet Say," man? And we got a series of hilarious tweets, bro. Starting with this one. This is what frustrating looks like when your QB is trash.
Tyreek was done.
From our boy Brett Krollman, man. I know it's just week 1, but Miami might be bad. Mark Hockman, the legendary radio host from down here, 560 QAM.
Love Hawk.
Just like what you said, Rod, everyone is overreacting. They just can't pass, run, or defend. Those things are fixable.
I love Hawk. He's hilarious.
Yeah. Hawk and Crowder, man. Hilarious.
Yeah, they Crowder, good. Man. I listen to them on a regular, but he a little like delusional.
Yeah.
No, he's being sarcastic. That's what he's trying to do.
I know.
Yeah. The Saints are going to be the worst team in the NFL this year. The Dolphins, no.
They got Avon out here, yo.
10 minutes into the Dolphins season, eliminated, dog.
They deserve all this smoke.
Oh my God! Herbie, we were unequivocally the worst team in the league this week one. Unequivocally, the Panthers were better than
Daniel
us.
Jones against the Dolphins secondary, man. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Wow.
This is what people are saying, bro. And then shout out to the homie Booger McFarland on ESPN. He just encapsulates this in one sentence. The Miami Dolphins look awful. That's what they.
He basically took everything we said and said it in 4
exactly.
words.
He took everything we said and just said it in 5 words, bro. And then Dan Orlovsky, last one, bro. The Dolphins tape is a mess. Both sides of the ball, total mess. So that's what they're saying, man. That's what the internet is saying right now, guys. Like, that is the reaction from people who are fans. That is the reaction from people who are professionals. It is a common thread. The common thread is that the Miami Dolphins might have been the most embarrassing team of week 1 in the NFL. Easily. That is.
There's only 2 games left,
I might have to go, bro. That Dolphins versus the media video that we did, bro. I might have to go blacklist that ish, bro. I gotta get that bit off the internet, bro.
You know,
I gotta go blacklist it, dog.
The only thing I could say, because this has all been doom and gloom, and rightfully so. The only thing I can say is that it's week 1. That's it.
Yeah,
that's all you can say. And the one thing about week 1, week 1 is not always. We've been watching football long enough. It's not always indicative of how a team is going to be all season long. But the way these guys looked in week 1, that's hard to recover from. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for sure, man.